explain happiness when all you feel is sadness and neglect? How do you describe living when everything within and around you seems like you are just existence? How do you love when that which you are affectionate and passionate about drowns you in pain, anguish, and sorrow? How do you smile when the weight inside your chest makes breathing feel like failing every test? How do you pretend that everything's alright when darkness swallows up your light? How do you wake up and face another day when yesterday took everything away? How do you keep going when you don't know why? How do you live when you just wanna cry? Trust has been betrayed. How do you stand when you've been made afraid? How do you open up when walls keep you safe inside? How do you show yourself when all you do is hide? How do you believe in better days ahead when all the hope you had is dead? How do you find meaning in this mess? How do you exist inside this emptiness? Maybe the answer isn't knowing how. Maybe it's just surviving here and now. Maybe strength isn't having all the answers clear. Maybe it's just waking up and still being here. How do you, one breath at a time? How do you, one step, one climb out of the darkness, inch by inch, day by day? How do you just find a way? How do you forgive when wounds cut so deep? How do you rest when you can't even sleep? How do you heal when the pain feels permanent? How do you live with what the damage meant? How do you move forward carrying this weight? How do you love again after all this hate? How do you become whole when you're shattered inside? How do you find yourself when you've lost your guide? How do you make it real? This thing called happiness you're supposed to feel. How do you learn to live when survival's taking everything you have to give? How do you find the light when you've been living in the darkness of the night? How do you answer this? You don't always know, but still you exist. How do you just do? Somehow you make it through. One day at a time, one moment, one breath. How do you survive? You're still here. That's enough.